Welcome to the Got Any Cows podcast. If you want to learn all you can about the beef cattle industry, this is the podcast for you. My name is Seth Christensen. My company has sent beef cattle genetics to 45 of the 50 states and 12 countries around the world. I've had the chance to learn from some of the best and brightest in the beef cattle industry, and I invite you to join me for those conversations here on the Got Any Cows podcast. Hey, I appreciate you being here with me today on the Got Any Cows podcast. It is crazy to me how fast a month goes by. Between the kids and the cows, there's not anything else I get done ever. So right now, we're kind of at the tail end of chewing through the most aggressive part of the breeding season. So December and January are both really bananas around here. But yeah, we got through them, got it done. Got a whole pile of really neat matings done. Got some cool cattle coming. Excited about what we got done. Excited to have it done. Right now, I kind of feel like we're chewing through our October to-do list because in November, we gathered and synchronized all the cattle. December and January, implanted and AI'd all the cattle. Now here we are in February, and I honestly feel like I'm kind of doing my October to-do list. So just trying to catch up. I apologize, any of you that are waiting on anything from me. There are a lot of people waiting on a lot of things from me. I apologize to be slow getting back to everybody, getting you pictures, registration numbers, all the different information you might be looking for, scheduling, whatever else it may be. I apologize to be slow. That's part of the reason we're doing these auctions monthly at this point in time is I can't necessarily get back to everybody as quickly as I'd like to individually, but I can get the auction podcast recorded once, and then a couple hundred people can listen to me walk through all of what's going on. I can get all of the pictures and registration links and everything else for the auction put together once, and then everyone can hop right on and see what it is and what the market sets the price at, as far as what contending bidders make those auction lots close at as far as pricing. And so it's kind of a time management thing in a sense that as much as I'd love to just individually one at a time get through and get everybody all of what they're after, and I still will gladly do it anytime I possibly can, you just may be waiting from like October to February for me to get done all of what I intend to do. My wife Haley is due with our fourth baby in August, and has been sick with this pregnancy, has been really sick. And thankfully, luckily, I mean, as far as just overall health, like there's nothing, she's not in any danger, and the baby's not in any danger. Haley and the baby are both healthy, and we're grateful for that, and always a wonderful thing to have a baby coming. But Haley has been pretty incapacitated as far as being able to do a lot, with all of what she normally does a lot with our accounting, with our web design, plus everything with the kids, the house. Haley does a lot, really lean on her. And I recognize just how much she does when she's not able to do it. So I've been trying to keep up with kids and house and in addition to, the cattle and the breeding and the auctions and all the people that work here. And anyway, so grateful for all of you and your patience with me and your support of what we do here. But yeah, that is definitely one of the motivating factors behind continuing to do monthly auctions. Thank you all for your support of these monthly auctions. Really appreciate it. Really genuinely do. And that lets us keep things humming. I may not be able to get you everything. I'd love to get you private treaty, but I can for sure get at least an auction a month. We are intending to continue to do these auctions the last Wednesday of each month. So mark that in your calendar on repeat. Wednesdays, the last Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. cgauction.givesmart.com is going to be that link. If you were to hop on that link right this second, it would take you to last month's auction and show you what everything closed at there. As soon as we get the auction catalog up at that link, we'll send out an email to our subscriber base, and you can start bidding at that point in time and bid from then until close, which will again be the last Wednesday of each month, this month being February 25th at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So Make sure that you hop on, if you haven't already, go to gotanycows.com. So the name of this podcast, that'll take you to the Christensen Genetics website. Subscribe at the bottom of that main page. And then you'll get an email when this auction opens. And then mark in your calendar, February 25, 6 p.m. Mountain, to be at that cgauction.givesmart.com. For auction close, it will be a horse race style finish. So every time there is a bid placed on any lot, in the final 5 minutes of the sale, the entire auction will extend by 5 minutes. So that clock will reset to 5 minutes every time that there's a bid in the closing 5. Sometimes the auction closes right close to 6, depending on bidding activity. We've had it go as long as 2 hours and take until 8 to close. Most of the time, it's about an hour of active bidding seems to be what we see. So I guess mark that into your calendar, anticipate that, expect that, be there. Make sure you refresh, consistently refresh your browser. Sometimes it'll look like that auction is closed or like the clock has gone to 0 and you think, oh, I won, I got what I came here to get, and you can leave. And then all of a sudden someone else bought what you thought you had gotten purchased. So make sure you refresh. Don't leave until you see there'll be a little banner that comes across the corner of each lot that says closed, or it'll say you won. Make sure you don't leave until you see that banner come across everything, because it can look like time has run out, and if someone bids right at the end, it'll re-extend out to 5 minutes. So make sure you refresh your browser so that you don't run into a case of thinking that the auction is closed when it has not. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to jump into what's in the auction. I feel like, a couple of different benefits of doing these auction overview podcasts. I mean, one, obviously it lets you know what's available for sale, but two, it does give you an in-depth view into what we're doing at Christensen Genetics, what matings we're working with, what genetics at large we're working with, bulls, females, embryos, semen, whatever it may be, and why we're doing what we're doing. I can give you more, more of an in-depth look at all of what we're doing in this format, in this setting, where I record once and it goes out for as many people as want to watch it, than I can necessarily when I'm going through, one at a time individually, walking through what we have available with individual people. So hopefully can give you a good look at what all's coming up and what to expect, what you could see, and things that could move your program forward, that could help get you where you want to go. I just recorded an ad spot that'll go out on the Angus Underground podcast, and mention the fact that I am blessed to be able to do this full time, to be able to ranch full time with my wife and kids, and that's not something I take lightly. That is due to the support of people like you hopping on these auctions and supporting these sales. But also, it's something I want to be able to, help other people be able to achieve, if that's a goal or that's a target, whether you have a young family like me and you'd love to be able to do something like ranch full time, or whether you're at the tail end of a career and you'd like to step away from maybe a busier life in a different industry and enjoy the lifestyle that a ranch brings to the table, or if you just want to eat some of the world's best beef, we're here to provide you the tools. Between the genetics we offer and then hopefully some of the education or insights we can offer here on the podcast, want to help you get where you want to go. And that's what this company exists for. That's what this podcast exists for. So anyway, without further ado, I'll jump into what's going to be in the sale. Lot 1 is going to be a donor female. This is a really, really, really unique pedigree. Pay attention here. This is a female. If you're going to spend some money to get a good donor bought, this is one you want to chase. This is a really, really unique pedigree here. This is a direct Rueshaw daughter. So this is going to be Ms. Komuro 254L. This female is a direct daughter of Rueshaw. So Rueshaw would be the very most valuable of all the original import bulls. So there were only 6 bulls that ever left Japan. Rueshaw, Judo, Tamamaru, Shigemaru, Hikari, Big Al. And of those, the very most valuable semen is on Rueshaw. Rueshaw semen is sold for up to $22,000 for a single straw. So really, really, really valuable semen. I ran into an old friend from high school the other day at Woodward's here in Weston, and he says, "Are you still selling body fluids?" And I'm like, that's one way to put it. Anyway, the most valuable straw in the breed is going to be a Rueshaw straw, and that is the sire of this lot 1 female would be Rueshaw. It's also the only national champion to ever leave Japan. So unique in a lot of ways, but what makes this female truly unique is not only that she's a Rueshaw daughter, because there's a pretty good chunk of Rueshaw daughters out there. This female has a really, really unique bottom side to the pedigree. So her dam is going to be a Big Al over number 1 Ringo. So Ringo is a Namimaru over Daiate Maru Nami. So a really, really, really unique original import pedigree here. And one of the things I want to emphasize when you look at the bottom side of a pedigree like this, the top side of these pedigrees, things like Rueshaw, as extremely valuable as they are, like we're thrilled to see Rueshaw in that number 1 slot on the top side, but that can be replicated. If somebody sits on a straw of Rueshaw for another 20 years or another 50 years, that can be replicated. The bottom side of this pedigree, being out of a Big Al over Namimaru over Daiate Maru Nami, that cannot be short of someone sitting on a full sibling embryo to this mating for 20 to 50 years, that is not nearly as quick or easy to replicate. And a straw of semen can make a series of embryos, right? An embryo is only one embryo. So even if there were an embryo or a few embryos or anything even remotely like unto this female out in circulation, there's very, very few of them. And soon there will be none of them. Eventually all of those embryos will get put in. So bringing things like that, these original import cows to the front of the pedigree, brings pedigree breadth that you can't gain any other way. Even if you're using original import sires or doing embryo work with original import sires, you're only manipulating half of the genetic equation, the top side of the pedigree. And with a breed like Akaushi, where there were only ever 13 females and 6 males to ever leave Japan, at which point Japan declared him a national treasure, and he'd have better luck caging and shipping bald eagles than getting fresh stuff out of Japan at this point. You need all the breadth you can get genetically so that we're not inbred up the wazoo and backed into a corner as far as being too narrow of a gene pool going forward. So the value of a pedigree like this is immense in bringing not only Daiate Maru Nami to the front of the pedigree on the bottom side, but bringing Namimaru, who never left Japan, to the front of the pedigree on the bottom side. Big Al, who's one of only 6 bulls to ever leave Japan, left in utero, carried by his dam Akiko. And then Rueshaw at the very front of the pedigree on the top side as the only national champion to leave Japan, the highest value straw of semen to sell in the breed. Really, really, really valuable pedigree here. And in addition to all of that, 254L is carrying a calf that is sired by the Spectrum bull. So looking at Spectrum is going to be a full brother to a Trades. So he's going to be a JC Rueshaw 75 over the 919 donor. So JC Rueshaw 75 would be the record-selling bull, brought $500,000 for the bull in his semen inventory. Semen is not available on the open market. And then he's also a bull that won the ultrasound contest at the national show in Houston on 2 consecutive years, highest marbling bull on actual carcass ultrasound against both black and red Wagyu entrants. So you're looking at a lot of marbling on the top side of the pedigree for Spectrum, which is the service sire on this lot 1. Bottom side of the pedigree is going to be the 919 female. And the 919 donor has done north of $300,000 in direct progeny sales for us here at Christensen Genetics. That's cash in the account off of this cow and her direct progeny only. I mean, that's not counting all of everything that's gone on from there other generations later. It is just direct progeny. So been a really valuable cow for us. She is a Big Al over Hikari, over Shigemoru, over Ume. So straight foundation pedigree as well. And looking at a female like that, going to be our number 1 marbling Big Al daughter on actual carcass ultrasound, was our number 1 overall for a long time. Scans beyond Prime Plus on actual carcass ultrasound. So again, you're looking at, in this Spectrum bull as a service sire, ton of marbling, rare and valuable pedigree, and you're getting, if you buy lot 1, you are getting that extremely valuable pedigree of the cow herself, paired to an extremely valuable pedigree of the service sire. And Spectrum himself was born light and easy, and then weaned heavy, so easy calving, fast growing. Putting all that together, you're getting the cow and the calf and free delivery anywhere in the continental United States on lot 1. So don't be afraid to spend the money to get this caliber of cow bought. And here's why. Buying the cow is the cheap part. right? You can go buy any given cow. You can buy cheap junkers. There are cheap cows to be had out and about, wherever, any given sale barn. You can buy a cheap junker if you so choose. But you're going to spend the same time and money and effort and feed, whether you breed great cattle that are worth a lot of money and make a high quality eating experience for you, your friends, your family in the long term, or you can spend the same time, feed, money, effort feeding junk that don't sell for anything and that are a crappy eating experience and that are a pain in the butt to handle and that you're not proud of, and neither are any of your friends, family, or neighbors. Why would you do that? Like the cheap part is buying the cow. Buy quality. Quality doesn't cost, it pays. Okay, getting into something that is gonna provide you with a high rate of return, that's gonna provide you with high quality genetics and perpetuity, that's gonna provide you with quality beef. All of those things hinge on buying a high quality base. You're much better off to buy one really, 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 really good cow than you are to buy 2, 3, 4, 5, or really even 10 poor quality cows, because pretty quickly 1 becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 become 8, so on and so forth. Cows do multiply. And before you know it, you got a bunch of either junk, if you start with junk, or quality, if you start with quality. So don't be afraid to spend a little to lock in the right base, because that base investment is going to be spread across all of her offspring and perpetuity and their offspring and their offspring and their offspring. So don't be afraid to spend some money on a high quality base. That's the cheap part, is getting the cattle bought. So invest in quality, Lot 1, 254L. Lot 2, 4521. So this is a female bred, calved, raised right here at Christensen Genetics. This is going to be a direct daughter of that 919 female that I just mentioned. So 919, again, is a big owl over Hikari, over Shigemoru, over Ume. So a straight foundation pedigree. That Ume maternal line is not real broadly distributed in the United States and is one of the very best for marbling. You'll see that in a series of different programs. You'll see that in a series of different applications. These cattle flat out marble. If you want to put a high quality steak on the plate, it's got to have a high degree of marbling or intramuscular fat. You want to have a high quality eating experience. You want an Ume maternal line female. It's as simple as that. The top side of this pedigree, this heifer is sired by Outback. So Outback's going to be an Australian bred bull, as the name implies. He's sired by Katsukari. Katsukari is going to be another one of the most valuable bulls as far as a per straw value in the breed. Thousands of dollars per straw if you can find it. And then he's put over top of a Namiko maternal line female. And so if we look at the way that pedigree all comes together, Namiko, Katsukari, Ume, all of these different pieces are really, really challenging to acquire, really, really expensive to acquire. And in a setting like this, if you buy the Lot 2 female, you go ahead and bid on that Lot 2 female, you're getting a yearling heifer delivered to your ranch, free deliveries included anywhere in the continental U.S. You're getting all these unique and valuable and expensive, frankly, breeding pieces already in a package ready to be delivered to you and then bred how you want. You could use this female to make embryos if you so chose. You could use this female to just carry natural calves if you so chose. This is a female that's ready for you to do as you please. And you can definitely get a buy on some of these. You know, again, just like I mentioned with Lot 1, I wouldn't be afraid to spend some money to get a female like this bought. But there are buys to be had. You know what I mean? An auction is, by definition, the price is set by whoever shows up and is willing to submit a bid. And honestly, I'd recommend getting in early on a female like this. I'd recommend getting in early on anything that interests you, because every sale, there are things that close for way less money than what I would let them go for private treaty. They're selling way under their fair market value because we're selling them in an auction setting. And if somebody else doesn't show up and bid what she's worth, you step into all that equity the day you buy her. So I'd show up early. I'd get a bid in early on a female like this. You can be confident that this female's got the pedigree value. This female is registered with the American Wagyu Association, so it can easily be dual or triple registered with the American Akaushi Association and or the Australian Wagyu Association. A female like this, you can be confident is going to put those quality steaks on the plate through her progeny, is going to put a marketable pedigree into your program through her progeny. So again, it's not a cost, to spend the money to get a quality one. It is taking your real costs, your big costs, which are the feed and the labor, and investing them into a quality animal like lot 1 or lot 2 here, rather than just propagating, frankly, cheap junk that's out there elsewhere. Lot 3, my Angus people. CGX Lucy 4469M. This female is going to be way into the top 1% of the breed for weaning weight and yearling weight. So if you want cattle that will gain, you want cattle that will put pounds on the scale, this female is going to get it done. This is a dually daughter. Dually semen is hard to get a hold of. And this female's bottom side of her pedigree is going to trace directly to the original Basin Lucy 178E, so one of the famous cows of the breed. She's also got on the top of the bottom side of the pedigree back in there, the Isabel Y69 cow. So some really famous cows, and famous for good reason, present on the bottom side of this pedigree. A unique and valuable top side to the pedigree. A ton of performance, really impressive EPD profile. And this female is one you'd like in person. Like if you're standing there with me looking at 4469, deep-bodied female, wide-based female. It's a lot of barrel in these Lucies. This is going to be a daughter of our 284 donor. And she has been bred to Long Teton 107. Teton is a bull I really, really liked when I had a chance to see him in person in Missouri. At what was the B3 Genetics stud out there. Now I want to say it's Valley Oaks or Premier Genetics, I believe is what it's called now. But was able to see him there. He's going to be a Tahoe over Growth Fund bull. So really, really well bred as far as bulls that have kind of stood the test of time, of having daughters that'll last. Really good footed bull, really long bodied bull. I really liked the length in this body. I didn't actually go there to see this bull, but this is one of those bulls that you see and say, hey, who is that? Like, I need to know who that is. Like, really impressed by the bull in person. And then an incredible spread on the bull. Big time calving ease bull, huge growth bull, over 100 for weaning weight. I believe a 12 on calving ease direct. So easy calving, fast growing. 4469 has been bred to Teton, but is not yet confirmed pregnant. So the buyer will have the option. You can either take her as she is, where she's bred but not confirmed, and she'll either be pregnant or she won't, and you take care of it from there at the bid price. Or if you'd like to leave her here, we can do that for you, and we'll just bill feed and additional AI if it's necessary at a flat custom rate. So let me know. The winning bidder has both options. This female does come with free delivery anywhere in the continental United States included. So if you're looking for a female that is going to have the look, going to have the pedigree, going to have the numbers, and is bred to a really, really neat, unique bull, take a look at lot 3 there on the Angus side of things. That is going to be Lucy 4469. Lot 4, jumping over to the bulls. This is a bull you'll like. This is the 4443 bull. If you're in here walking the bulls, the long yearling bulls right now, this is a bull you'll find. This is a neat bull, a bull you'd like in the pen. Long-bodied kind of a bull, strong top kind of a bull that looks like a bull. You know, I mean, got that head to him. This is going to be a direct son of Big Al. So Big Al is going to be one of the most proven of the original import bulls. The son of Daiten Mitsumaru out of Akiko. So you're bringing an original import sire on the top side of the pedigree, $725 a straw to get Big Al. And then an Australian bred bottom side to the pedigree here. So a little bit different pedigree twist on the bottom side there. AWA registered bull, American Wagyu Association. So again, easy to dual or triple register if you so desire. But this is a bull I'd be very confident sending out that, number one, the person that sees him is going to like him. I mean, the day he steps off the trailer, mellow-mannered bull, easy to be around, has already passed a semen test. And so this is a bull that you can be confident is going to be fertile, is going to get cows bred, is ready to breed right away. This is a bull that's going to bring an original import sire right to the front of the pedigree, but without having to spend the money on the semen or do the AI or deal with all those other things. He's just going to make it happen. And I'm going to be confident in the degree of marbling you're going to get out of a bull like this. The Big Al line is well known for marbling. So yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of this bull in any way, shape, or form. Free delivery, again, anywhere in the continental United States. Lot 4, the 4443 bull. Lot 5, if you want polled Akaushi genetics, pay attention here. Why would you want polled Akaushi genetics? I guess that goes back to why would you want Akaushi genetics? Akaushi genetics, in their most basic sense, what got me in them These cattle marble. They put an awesome steak on the plate. It is a Wagyu breed, meaning from Japan, or a Japanese breed. These are Japanese cattle, but a separate and distinct breed from Japan in the sense that these are thick, stout, impressive cattle to look at. They'll gain. They're going to look a lot more like traditional beef type cattle. And that's kind of what makes Akiushi unique. But then Akiushi as a breed is horned. And any of the full blood or 100% Akiushi cattle are all horned. But, and this is where lot 5 comes in, there are polled purebred Akiushi available. Purebred meaning that they are at least 15/16 Akiushi or a 4th generation cross, but they're going to come from the base of that pedigree, had a polled gene in it on both sides, top and bottom side of this pedigree. And those cattle were bred to an Akiushi bull for each of 4 successive generations. So, I mean, this is a decade-long project on either side of this pedigree. And then the resulting cattle that were kept were the animals that retained that polled gene. So naturally hornless, aren't going to have horns. In the case of lot 5, this bull has got 2 copies of the polled gene. So he's homozygous polled, meaning he is only going to sire hornless calves. You can mate this bull to a Texas Longhorn and still get a polled calf. Like, you are not going to have horns if you breed to this bull. So regardless of what you breed to, he's going to knock the horns off every time. And the beauty of dehorning genetically, series of different things. I mean, number 1, you don't have to monkey with it. I mean, it's a huge chore to knock the horns off of cattle. Number 2, you don't have to worry about the fact you're opening up holes in an animal's head. You don't have to worry about infection or any of the risks inherent. You don't have to worry about an animal bleeding a bunch or anything else. You don't have to worry about the pain that's caused to that animal, the fact that you're going to set them back on rate of gain. And you just don't have to worry about one more thing to do. And if you don't do it, now that animal's got big old long horns and they're getting stuck in the fence, or they're beating up other animals, or they're having problems getting them through the chute. Like, there's so many reasons not to have horns, but dehorning sucks. So dehorn them genetically. Lot 5, homozygous polled purebred bull. I mean, the first of these to sell, the first homozygous polled purebred bull to sell at public auction was Dos Equis. Brought like $111,000 for half interest. So you ought to be able to bid at least $222,000 on this bull, right? and I think you can probably get a buy on lot 5 here. Homozygous polled purebred bull, ready to breed, over a year old, comes with free delivery included. Homozygous polled purebred, lot 5, the 4447 bull. Lot 6, Rhubarb 4455M. So this is going to be a full-blood Akiushi bull. So if you're wanting 100% Akiushi genetics, a full-blood bull here, again over a year old, again with free delivery anywhere in the U.S. included. And honestly, a bull you can probably get a buy on. If you can get a buy on a bull like this, you're ahead to do it. You know, I mean, bulls are costing a pretty penny all over the country right now. I mean, there are Angus sales averaging at or above $20,000 per bull on hundreds of bulls. I mean, I'm talking the Schaff sale, the Ellingson sale. Keneally's did, I think, $18,000 on an average. I mean, Gardner's, I think, did $4,000. There's a fleet of sales, 10, 15, 20 grand to get a bull bought. If you can get a bull like this bought, that is going to give you all that marbling, in addition to excellent foot quality on these Akiushi bulls, in addition to excellent longevity on these Akiushi bulls. A lot of these Akiushi bulls, I mean, I've seen Akiushi bulls at 10 years old still breeding cows 2 times a year. I mean, the fertility on these bulls is exceptional. The longevity on these bulls is exceptional. Those things alone, in addition to the fact you're picking up hybrid vigor if you breed another breed to an Akiushi bull, in addition to the fact you're picking up all this carcass quality while still maintaining a good-looking animal, don't overlook lot 6, the 4455M bull. Lot 7, if you don't want to pony up to own the bull, I've got an option for you. You can lease a bull. Okay, so in lot 7, the winning bidder on this lot is going to own a 2-year lease on the Master Chef 4478 bull. So top side of this pedigree, if you look at Master Chef is thousands of dollars a straw if you can find it. This is a bull that brings the Ume cow that I mentioned previously up front on the top side of the pedigree, being a Kajikari son. Bottom side of this pedigree is also really unique. Straight foundation imports. You're looking at Red Emperor over Shigemaru, over Big Al, over Diet Marunami is going to be the bottom side of the pedigree here. 4478 is the bull that would stand out if you're out in the pens. Big bull, growthy bull. This is going to be the heaviest bull in the set out there. If you want gain, you want a bull that can outgain the whole calf crop, this is the bull that did it. 4478 is a performance powerhouse bull. If you want to add gainability and a unique outcross pedigree, and you want it in a lease format. Beauty of a lease format is deliveries included, pickups included, so you don't have to worry about shipping. And 2 years is where you're gonna have to rotate anyway. If you're a small herd of cows and you're only running one bull, after 2 years, after 1 year, your bull's heifer calves arrive. At 2 years, the bull is gonna be breeding his own daughters if you use the same bull on the same set of cows. So you're gonna have to rotate bulls anyway. So rather than buy a bull, then now 2 years down the road, you gotta either sell him for pound money when he's still a good young bull, or you got to figure out how to sell him on the breeder market and then go buy another bull. Just buy a 2-year lease. Let this bull show up. This is a great pedigreed bull. This is a great performance bull. This bull looks the part. Get a buy. Get a deal. 2-year lease on the 4478 bull. This is a bull you will like. This is a bull that I like well enough that I want to continue to own him. So go ahead and buy a lease. Use him for a couple of years. Lot 8, jumping over to an aspiration. Let's walk through real quick. What is an IVF aspiration? So IVF, in vitro fertilization. We're looking to make embryos, right? An aspiration is when we remove unfertilized egg cells from a donor cow, fertilize them in a lab setting, grow those embryos for 7 days, and then we freeze the resulting embryos for shipment, and then you can implant them in cows anywhere you'd like. Or we're also including the option to implant these embryos in our recips. So if you're short on recips and you don't want to go deal with the total crapshoot of sourcing recips. I mean, a lot of recips, a lot of places, whole nother can of worms as far as the quality of the cow that's going to carry your high-end calf. If you want access to quality recips, you want to buy this lot and buy this aspiration, make these embryos here, because we'll give you access to our recip. So if you want to stick embryos into a high quality recip of known caliber that I've personally sorted, go ahead and buy this lot and get access to our recip. So an aspiration, an IVF aspiration means that we're going to take those egg cells out, fertilize them to the sire of your choice. So the donor that we're pulling from, and this would be on lot 8. If you win the bid on lot 8, you now have the right to one aspiration on the 3430 donor. So 3430 is going to be a daughter of Red Emperor, who's himself a son of Big Al out of Diet Marunami, out of our JC Ms. Rueshaw 121 donor. So she's going to be a Rueshaw over Hikari, over Judo, over Homare. So really, really unique foundation import genetics, top and bottom. 3430 is a beautiful female, a fertile female. Has done us a nice job here. Gives you an opportunity to tie into Rueshaw genetics, Red Emperor genetics, straight foundation genetics. She's an AWA, American Wagyu Association registered female, so you can register these calves anywhere you want. It puts you in the driver's seat on what bull you want to use on 3430. So instead of having to take a look at, a set of embryos and say, well, I like the cow, but I'd rather use this other bull, it's entirely up to you. Whatever bull you want to use. If you want to use a super expensive bull, great. If you want to use a super cheap bull, great. If you want to use female sexed semen, great. If you want, whatever it is you want to do, you pick. And then, so the winning bidder pays for the aspiration. The right to aspirate is what you're bidding on. And then you do pay the semen and embryo production cost separate. So it's up to you whether you want to use expensive semen, cheap semen, whatever else. We will guarantee, if you use conventional semen, that you get at least 5 total embryos, with the hope being statistically you get at least 2 pregnancies and 1 female, but we'll guarantee that you get 5 embryos, or you can repeat the aspiration at no additional cost. If you do choose to use female sexed semen, you're welcome to do so. We'll guarantee at least 3 embryos produced. Again, wanting to make sure you get at least 1 daughter. So basically, when you're trying to figure out, hey, what do I bid on an aspiration? Think of it as we're going to make sure you get basically at least 1 heifer calf. You're going to get at least 5 conventional embryos or at least 3 female sexed embryos. So statistically, you should be getting at least 1 heifer calf from the sire of your choice out of this Red Emperor over JC Ms. Rueshaw 121 donor. And then you're also getting the option to use our recips. You don't have to. If you want to use your recips, that's totally fine. But you have the option to use our recips. So There's little to no risk on the bottom side of this deal. We're guaranteeing you're getting embryos. There's quite a lot of opportunity on the upside of this deal. I mean, we've had donors produce 13 embryos, 14 embryos, 15 embryos, 17 embryos on one aspiration. You don't pay for 17 aspirations. You pay for one aspiration. It's the bid money times one. And then you pay the semen cost and the lab production cost. That's it. And then you might walk away with 17 embryos. So a lot of upside potential there. And then you do have a shot at our recips. These are going to be first come, first serve. There's only so many recips. But we are going to give buyers of embryos and the aspiration in this auction the option on our recips. We're going to have recips available for the next couple of months. And it's going to be first come, first serve. But if you want a shot at our recips, and so, I mean, we're talking quality, proven, nice commercial cows. I mean, hand-picked, known age, known source, known production record, known vac history, known disposition. Importantly, you know that these aren't going to be man-eaters. If you want known, something that's going to just put your mind at ease as far as the quality of the cow that will carry your embryo, you want access to our recips. And you can get it by buying this aspiration or by buying embryos in this sale. So lot 8 would be the 3430 aspiration. Lot 9 is going to be Rueshaw by 9961Y embryos. So we're jumping over to frozen embryos. Embryos are how I got into Akaushi. Embryos can be the very most cost-effective way into really, really high-value genetics. So obviously you're shouldering some risk. I mean, you are looking at not every embryo that's implanted into a cow results in a pregnancy. So that is one thing to be aware of. And then obviously not every embryo implanted into a cow is necessarily either male or female. So you're taking on some of those risks in exchange for some real potential reward. You know what I mean? Quite often these embryos are going to trade, in that $500 to $1,500 range, which is drastically cheaper than spending the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 plus it can take to buy a quality donor. And you can get a quality donor out of these embryos. I mean, my 919 donor that's done $300,000 in direct progeny sales for us, I purchased as an embryo. So a lot of opportunity in these embryos, especially in something like these Rueshaw by 9961Y embryos. Rueshaw, like I mentioned, $22,000 to get a straw bot. I mean, to even start to make these embryos, $22,000 is what this semen has brought before. And then it's not just any given cow that's on the bottom side of this pedigree. It's not whatever had a pulse that's on the bottom side. This is the only living American Wagyu Association registered Himawari maternal line female, period. 9961Y and her offspring are the only Himawari maternal line females in the entire American Wagyu Association database. So she's a Tamamaru over Big Al over Himawari. So if you're looking again for additional genetic breadth, we talked about how the bottom side of that pedigree, those cows, they're not going to be available forever. 9961Y is no spring chicken. This is a 15-year-old cow, but still productive. And I mean, this cow, after making a fleet of embryos, bred first service AI. Still perfect footed, still perfect udder on the female, still perfectly fertile. I mean, at 15 years of age, this is like twice what a lot of cows are making it to anymore on age, as far as productive age. So you're looking at a cow here that the proven longevity is there, the unique pedigree is there, the AWA registrability is there, the value of the sire is there, so the most unique and valuable semen there is, period. And you have a shot at it for, 3 times the bid money. So the bid money is per embryo. And then what you will pay is the bid price times 3. There are 3 embryos in this lot. So yeah, don't pass up on something like this. I mean, this is one of those opportunities where you might spend a few $1,000s and get a donor that goes on to make $300,000 for you. So I'm not saying it happens every time, but I am saying it's happened at least once. So take that for what you will. Lot 9, Rueshaw by 9961Y embryos. Lot 10, Master Chef by GK8 embryos. So again, rare and valuable semen, difficult to get a hold of, put over a direct Rueshaw daughter from the Naomi maternal line. So again, really unique and valuable bottom side of this pedigree. These are really, really, really difficult embryos to make. I mean, I have spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort putting together Things like semen like MasterChef that's hard to get and expensive to get, donors like GK8 that are hard to find, and putting those together for you to give you something unique. Bring in Ume to the front of the pedigree, bring in Rueshaw to the front of the pedigree, bring in Naomi. That Naomi maternal line is honestly probably the most valuable part here. For as great as MasterChef is, and as much name recognition and notoriety as he has, it's not just a MasterChef. It's a MasterChef. Naomi is what you're going to get if you buy the 3 embryos available as lot 10. Lot 11, Tamamaru by 919 embryos, another shot at those 919 genetics that have done so well for us. Beautiful cow, makes great steaks, awesome pedigree, great disposition, has been a great seller for us, and then bred to Tamamaru. So direct son of Dai-8 Marunami, one of the original imports out of Japan on the top side. Unique outcross here. Tamamaru, this would be a 0% inbreeding coefficient as well on lot 11, which would be the Tam by 919 embryos. Lot 12 would be Umemaru 065Y by 1270Z. So bottom side of this pedigree, the only living Hitomi maternal line female in the entire American Wagyu Association database, 1270Z, bred to Umemaru 065Y, who is going to be a son of Umemaru, who's a Hikari over Katie Maru on the top side, but then he's going back to the Homare maternal line, the same Homare maternal line that produced our JC Ms. Rueshaw 121 donor. So really unique top and bottom side of the pedigree here. We're getting into the Katie Maru genetics, the Homare genetics, the Hitomi genetics, things that are really, really, really difficult to find and to incorporate together into a pedigree. Excited to see what this cross will do. Umemaru 065Y by 1270Z. And I should mention on this lot, as well as the previous embryo lots, you get access to our recips. First come, first served. We will run out of recips. There are not that many recips of this quality available, period. And there's only so many that we have available for you, for our clients. So it will be on a first come, first serve basis, but buying embryos and or an aspiration in this sale is your key to accessing the best recips in the industry. If you want top quality recips, hand-picked, hand-sorted by me, not by somebody else, not by theoretic, or, oh, well, I think they should be, from this company, whatever. Like, no, this was not a sale barn order for a set of cows that went through a health protocol. These are cows sorted by me. We know their age. We know their production history, vac history, source. We know all of the pieces. These are great cows. And if you want to use them to carry your embryos, get some embryos like this bought and get access to these high-quality recips to put these high-quality embryos into. Jumping into the polled embryo matings. And there are 3 of these I want to touch on. The first polled mating is exceptionally good. And I mean exceptionally good. Like if you got a bull calf from this mating, this is a stud potential bull. So Guapo is going to be the sire here, and 19273 is going to be the dam. So really, really, really unique genetics top and bottom. If you want to get into polled purebred Akiushi genetics, like I mentioned, walking through that bull earlier in the episode, these are going to give you all the benefits of Akiushi. You're going to get that great carcass quality without wrecking the cows. You're not going to have to dehorn them. But I mean, come take a look at this 19273 cow. Like honestly, I'd invite anyone willing to buy a plane ticket. Come on out. Let me show you some awesome cattle and feed you some great beef. This 19273 cow is awesome. I mean, awesome. Shout out to my good friends, the Kirshens. Ron Kirshen has actually just recently passed away, and then his son, Eric Kirshen, just wonderful people and have been so good to me. They get the credit for breeding this 19273 female. Count myself really fortunate to have gotten a hold of a cow like this. This is a cow that I loved the first time I saw her with Ron there at their place. Ron was a meticulous breeder, actually bred triticale, so had a background in plant genetics, crop genetics, and but did a wonderful job putting together this 19273 cow. She is thick. She is deep. This is a cow, so people will come here and just be blown away by the Katie Maru cow, by how thick and deep and stout and massive and powerful she is, and then how incredible she is on actual carcass ultrasound and how incredible she is on pedigree. 19273 is her counterpart in the polled purebred genetics. So these 2 cows, honestly, people will get them mixed up when they see them at the IVF lab. I mean, even people that know our cows really, really well, Ty has seen these cows before come in. Said, no. Like grab the Namimaru cow, the clone cow first. They're like, no, this isn't her. This is 19273. They look the same. I mean, they are thick, they are stout, they are powerful. This is a super high marbling cow on actual carcass ultrasound. Right there with Namimaru, way beyond Prime Plus on actual carcass ultrasound. So if you're looking for a ton of marbling, a ton of look, excellent mannered, and an incredibly unique pedigree. I mean, it takes years of disciplined breeding to make an outcross polled purebred Akushi animal. I mean, it's 4 generations, usually a decade plus of disciplined breeding to make one of these. So it's not something that just happens overnight. It's not a case of like, well, I mean, as great and wonderful as it is to take a homozygous polled bull and put it across any given full blood, that's a shortcut available now that wasn't, back in the day. Building a foundation line off of like a cow that was polled and then crossing for 4 generations and only holding back the cattle that express that polled gene, so you got a 50-50 shot on each successive generation, takes some doing. And this cow is a crown jewel kind of cow, one that I'm really, really excited about. And then she is mated to Guapo, who would be, right now is going to be just one of our absolute best polled purebred, homozygous polled purebred Akushi bulls. And so if you went out and walked through the calves with me, all the baby calves right now, without question, the best one in the set is a Guapo son. And then you'd walk through and see another one and be like, oh, this bull calf's like really impressive. He's thick, he's stout, like a lot of muscle. Like, what's he? Oh, well, that's a Guapo. And we'd keep walking. We see another one. Oh, I really like that calf. Like, what's that? How's he bred? Well, that's a Guapo. And the standout calves here right now are Guapos. So not only are we taking the horns off, but we're getting these thick, stout, powerful, just impressive growth curve type cattle with Guapo. And he's homozygous polled. And then we're putting him over 19273, that pedigree excellence, that marbling excellence, that look. And she's heterozygous polled. So these embryos will have a 50-50 shot at being homozygous polled. They will be polled. 100% they'll be polled because Guapo is homozygous polled. And they got a 50-50 shot at being homozygous polled themselves. But this is a mating that has the potential to make donors, that has the potential to make studs. I mean, this is a stellar polled purebred Akushi mating, like one of the best. Like this is a spend the money, buy the good ones. I mean, if you want to spend the money and buy the good ones, if you've been on the fence about getting into polled purebred cattle, I said, well, I only want to stay full blood. Like that's fine. I mean, whatever you want to do. Like if you like dehorning, more power to you. but if you want to take the horns off genetically, if you want to make sure you're not taking out any marbling to do it, I mean, this cow marbles at an extremely high level. If you want to make sure cattle are thick, that they're stout, that they're impressive, and you want to get all the carcass quality without dehorning or without giving up growth curve or without giving up look, this is the mating to do it. Guapo by 19273. Put them in our recips if you so choose, or you're welcome to just ship them out and put them in yours. But the buyer does have the option on our recips if you so choose. And that's worth doing. Buy those embryos. Let us stick them in for you. They're going to be awesome. Lot 14, 3123 by 2302 embryos. This is going to be, again, a really unique outcross pedigree on the top side. Rick Black bred this bull. Black 3123 is the sire. So again, it just takes time to breed outcross polled purebred genetics. Quite often, the polled purebred genetics will have a little more birth weight. 3123 is going to be an exception to that. It's going to be a really easy calving bull, really light birth weight kind of a bull. So if you're looking for calving ease, outcross, polled purebred genetics, 3123 is a heterozygous polled bull, and then 2302 is a homozygous polled purebred dam. Put those two together and go ahead and buy those 3123 by 2302 polled purebred Akushi embryos and get a shot at our recips. 3371 by 577, again, a heterozygous to homozygous polled purebred Akushi mating. 3371 is going to have a lot of power, a lot of muscle, a lot of mass. 577, one of our very best cows on actual carcass ultrasound, well above Prime Plus without corn. She's also the dam of heavy duty, our number one all-time weaning weight bull, weaned at 730, weaning weight Akushi bull, weaned at 738 pounds without corn. Going to be a huge part of our program going forward. You can buy maternal siblings to him in these 3371 by 577 embryos. Going to be really unique polled purebred genetics there as well. And then lot 16, Hiramitsu by 61G, again, a set of embryos that gives you a shot at our recips, or these embryos are exportable if you're looking to get something out into Canada. Jumping down into the semen, we're going to offer Nikkei, female sexed semen again. His sire is Ashwood FX14, be one of the very best bulls in the Australian Wagyu Association database. Also brings the original import cow Namiko to the front of the pedigree. 10 grand a straw to get this stuff picked up. And you can get a son with female sexed semen in lot 17, Nikkei, female sexed semen. Lot 18, the initial release of Spectrum semen. So if you want something no one else has, no one else outside of Christensen Genetics has Spectrum semen at this point in time. At the point in time I'm recording this, we have not sold any Spectrum semen to anyone else. So if you want to be the first with something unique, go ahead and buy the initial release, 1 straw for use in an IVF setting of Spectrum semen. Spectrum, like I mentioned earlier, he's the service sire on lot 1, which tells you how much I think of him. I mean, we live covered a really unique donor cow to Spectrum. This is going to be a bull that you can be confident is going to give you calving ease. Love the calving ease this bull brings to the table. So if you're looking for something that you know you can trust to use on heifers, Spectrum's got you covered. If you're looking for something you know you can trust on attitude, Spectrum's got you covered. If you're looking for something with a great pedigree, JC Rueshaw 75 over 919, full brother to a Trades, our all-time heaviest weaning full blood bull. He's got you covered. You're looking for something with marbling, JC Rueshaw 75, beat out black Wagyus at Houston on marbling, 919, one of our very best on actual carcass ultrasound for marbling. And then just structure. Take a look at the picture of this bull. Spectrum's got it. He's got all the pieces, and that's why he's called Spectrum. I mean, he covers the whole spectrum of different demands, different wants, different traits. The whole spectrum of traits, he covers it all, from calving ease to growth to marbling, fertility, docility, longevity. All the pieces are there. So if you want the full spectrum and you want the first straw to sell, buy lot number, let me pull him up, 18, lot 18 is going to be Spectrum, the first straw to sell of Spectrum semen. Lot 19, the first straw to sell of Black 3123 semen. So I mentioned the Black 3123 bull, an outcross calving ease polled purebred Akaushi bull. We have not sold any semen. We have just used this bull in-house, like to make the embryos mentioned earlier. If you want to be the first outside of Christensen Genetics to have access to 3123 to use in your embryo program, single straw for use in an IVF setting, Black 3123 lot 19. Lot 20 is Shoshone semen. For the people that are looking for something high value, Shoshone semen has sold for up to $3,200 for a single straw. I was just chatting with my friend Seth Matheny earlier today. Apologize if I said your last name wrong there, Seth. But he was asking me, hey, what bull should I use if I'm looking for some gain, I'm looking for some marbling in a full blood setting? And Shoshone was my recommendation. Money where my mouth is, Shoshone is the bull we are using. If we're looking for growth, we're looking for marbling. He's backed by the $104,000 RMW Hoshiko D18 owned by my friends Doug and Amy at Slaby Akaushi Ranch in Wisconsin. Beautiful cow behind this bull. Ton of growth to the bull. This would be our highest marbling bull in our on actual carcass ultrasound of our 2023 calf crop. So if you're wanting to have growth, you're wanting to have marbling, you want a great cow behind him, and some marketability, take a look at this picture. There's a reason people have paid good money to get Shoshone semen. Another straw of Shoshone will sell as lot number 20. Lot 21, a Trades, been mentioned a couple of times. JC Rueshaw 75 over 919 again, our all-time heaviest weaning weight full blood Akaushi bull at 732 pounds. Growth, marbling, awesome cow behind him. A Trades is a bull to look at for use in an IVF setting. 1 straw, CGX Trades 3397L. Lot 22, Red Emperor, Big Al over Die 8 Marunami. Lots 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, whole series of great bulls with semen on offer. Would encourage you to look into those. Reach out to me with any questions you may have. Each one of these bulls deserves a walkthrough, but I don't want to bore you to death. So give me a holler if there's a bull you've got specific questions on. I've walked through these in previous auction overview podcasts. So if you want to go back to some of those auction overview podcasts we've done before, my voice is getting raspy. I'm kind of half losing my voice here. I had a really sore throat yesterday, so don't want to outwear what I can do with my voice tonight either. But a great series of semen options. I'm going to jump down to lot 32 to get to our polled purebred Akaushi semen options. Lot 32 is Guapo semen. You need to take a hard look at this bull. Guapo is one that I think got overlooked a little early on. Semen is sold as cheap as $70 a straw on this bull, which is way less than this bull is worth. He sold at a high of $525 a straw. He's worth more than that. We've had other bulls sell for, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Shoshone's brought $3,200 a straw. This is the kind of bull that ought to be bringing the kind of money that Shoshone brings. Guapo is a high growth, high performance, heavy muscled, homozygous polled purebred Akaushi bull. This is the guy. If you go look out through our bulls, our 2023 bulls, Guapo's the bull you'll find. John Phillips was here from Australia looking through bulls. He can tell you just how much that Guapo bull stands out. If you go walk through the calves, like I mentioned earlier, the Guapo calves are the ones that are going to stand out. If you want calves that'll stand out, if you want calves you don't have to dehorn, if you want calves that'll gain, that'll have muscle, that'll marble, you want Guapo calves. This is the bull I would recommend. I mentioned talking to Seth earlier today. I was on the phone with him and I said, hey, if you're going to tie into polled genetics, you want to be in on Guapo. This bull is one that we're using heavily here. A bull that I'm using heavier after seeing the first calf crop. And that's proof's in the pudding, right? A bull can be whatever, but until his calves are as good or better than he is, the rest of it's out the window. Like what does it really matter? But what we want is we want a bull that'll sire offspring that are excellent, that's consistently stand out. And Guapo is a bull that'll do that. So if you want to add polled purebred Akaushi genetics to your program, also an outcross to most polled purebred Akaushi genetics in the marketplace, you want to take a hard look at Guapo. We've got a series of other great options available. We've got Angus semen, we've got Hereford semen, we've got Charolais semen. Pretty well whatever you want, we've got it. I am here to get back to you, happy to get back to you as quick as I can, but don't want to go through every single animal. There will be an in-detail write-up on each of these animals. There will be registration links on each of these animals. Make sure you go to gotanycows.com and subscribe, because then you'll get an email when this auction opens. You'll get an email as the auction progresses towards closing. You'll get an email at closing. Closing date is February 25th. At 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Horse race style finish. Auction extends by another 5 minutes every time a bid is placed in the final 5. There's just a great set of opportunities to be had here, guys. And I want you guys to hop on and get a buy. There are buys to be had every time. Like, honestly, if nothing else, don't pass up on the opportunity to get things bought for way less than they are worth. Like, that's the fun of an auction, right? Hop on and get the high quality stuff, pay what it's worth, but hop on and get those buys. Get the stuff that when quality is selling for less than it is worth, there is no reason not to buy it. Go get the buy, get stuff bought right, take advantage of high quality genetics. I've put all the time and effort and money into producing these. They're for you. I want to help you get where you want to go with your cow herds, with your beef, with your ranches, with your families. That's why we do what we do. But yeah, be sure to subscribe on the website. Be sure to hop in, participate on the auction, reach out to me directly if you need anything at all, and be sure to join us on Facebook. Join the Got Any Cows Facebook group. We're going to be putting out a poll here in the near future on what you want to see in some upcoming episodes. And Jacob and I will make it happen. So hop on the Got Any Cows Facebook group, subscribe at gotanycows.com, and be sure to be there February 25th at 6 p.m. Mountain, and every Wednesday, the last Wednesday of every month, for the Christensen Genetics auctions. We'll see you there. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Got Any Cows podcast. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts, and visit us anytime at gotanycows.com.